There are men a woman can replace, and there are men she cannot. Men who leave a mark so deep that neither time nor pride nor other arms can erase it. And no, my brother, this has nothing to do with looks, money, or sweet words. It's about what you awaken in her. Because a woman may forget what you said to her, but she will never forget how you made her feel. And when a man learns to master that energy, he becomes unforgettable. Welcome to relationship psychology. Maybe right now you're wondering if she's already forgotten you, if her life goes on as if nothing happened, if your absence doesn't weigh on her at all. But don't be fooled by appearances. She can pretend to be perfectly calm, smile in her photos, talk to other guys, yet a part of her mind never truly rests. That part remembers your presence, the intensity of your gaze, the steadiness you held even when she tried to shake you. Women quickly forget the one who gives himself away too easily, but never the one who challenges them to be better. The man a woman can't get over isn't the one who texted her the most or insisted the hardest. It's the one who knew when to stop, the one who didn't beg for love, who didn't plead for attention. It's the one who, when he felt he was no longer valued, chose silence over losing his self-respect. That kind of man stays etched in her memory, not just because he left, but because of how he left, calmly, with class, with dignity intact. You don't need to be the best looking or the strongest. You need to be the most serene, the one who doesn't collapse under rejection, the one who doesn't bow to someone else's pride, the one who doesn't argue to convince, but steps back to preserve his peace. That man doesn't try to leave a trace, yet he does, because the power of detachment is far stronger than any speech. And I'll tell you something women almost never admit. They remember a calm man more vividly than an intense one, because calm conveys something beyond words: self-control, mystery, deep presence. They don't necessarily try to figure it out, but they feel it deeply. They know there's something different about him. Even as they move forward with their lives, their mind drifts back to that type of man whenever someone new fails to stir the same feeling. Like this video if you've ever chosen calm over risking your worth. Subscribe and turn on notifications and leave a single word in the comments, unforgettable, because that's exactly what you become when you learn not to react to everything and let your energy speak for you. Most men make the mistake of believing that to be unforgettable, they have to give everything, that the more love they pour out, the more they'll be valued, that the more available they are, the more they'll be loved. But that isn't power. It's dependency, and dependency is noticeable. It's felt, it's sensed, without a single word. A woman can detect neediness in a man the same way you sense fear in the air. The moment she feels it, she stops seeing him as a challenge and starts seeing him as a weaker version of what she truly wants. The average man reveals everything before he's even chosen. He bears his soul, his devotion, his desire, and loses all mystery. He wants so badly to please that he forgets himself. He becomes predictable, repetitive, almost desperate for validation. Even with the best intentions, that kind of man doesn't inspire respect. He might inspire pity or comfort, but never true admiration, because anything given without limit quickly loses its value. The unforgettable man isn't the one who gives the most. He's the one who knows when to hold back. The one who understands that attraction isn't sustained by endless words, but by controlled presence. That you don't have to insist to be remembered. You just have to know when to go quiet. Because silence, coming from a man who is secure in himself, speaks louder than any grand declaration. She may not understand it consciously, but her instincts pick it up. This one doesn't need me. And that unspoken thought ignites something in her. Every time you react, explain yourself, try to prove your worth, you unintentionally tell her, you hold the power. But when you choose to step back calmly, when you keep your dignity intact, the balance shifts. Human emotions work that way. What we can't control, we can't forget. And the man who masters his emotions becomes an enigma. You're not here to beg for attention. You're here to inspire it, not to chase love, but to awaken it. The man who leaves a lasting mark doesn't do it by pushing. He does it by staying centered. While everyone else talks, he acts with serenity. While others scramble to be chosen, he chooses. And that difference, my brother, is what separates the ordinary man from the one a woman can never fully forget. So stop thinking that giving more will make you win. What will make you win is showing you can walk away without drama, without guilt, without fear. Because when a woman meets a man who respects himself more than he craves her, something shifts inside her. She may never say it, but she'll feel it for the rest of her life. The man who doesn't react doesn't fade, he stays engraved. The unforgettable man doesn't need to talk a lot. His power lies in what he doesn't say, in what he lets silence communicate for him. Words can be forgotten, but energy cannot. A woman may remember your voice, but what truly marks her is how she felt when you stayed quiet, when you were present without needing anything, when your calm was stronger than her pride. That presence, that control, it's what the female mind can't erase. When you're a man who doesn't reveal everything, who doesn't spill his emotions at the first impulse, you awaken something most men never achieve: curiosity. And curiosity is the fire that keeps desire alive. She wonders, what is he thinking? What is he feeling? What's going on with him? She doesn't know, and that intrigues her, because the unknown always attracts. By staying serene, you become the mystery her mind can't solve, but also can't let go. Silence is power because it reveals what words hide. Talking too much is trying to control perception. Calm, on the other hand, demonstrates mastery. You tell her without saying it, I don't need to convince you. My calm speaks for me. And that energy, my brother, isn't forgotten, because a woman can hear 1,000 promises, but she only remembers the feeling of a man who stayed steady when everyone else trembled. Don't confuse silence with indifference. Your calm isn't lack of interest, it's respect. Respect for yourself, for your energy, for your worth. You don't have to reply to every message. You don't have to clarify every situation. A man who controls himself, who knows when to step back and when to move forward, projects something that can't be taught: emotional authority. And that, my brother, is the language of true power. Every time you don't respond from ego, every time you refuse to play her emotional game, you earn respect without saying a word. While others fight for her attention, you achieve something deeper. Her attention starts seeking you. Your energy becomes a benchmark. Your calm becomes a contrast. In a world full of noise, the strong man's silence is heard louder than any voice. And when a woman encounters that kind of man, she doesn't forget him. She may try to replace him, distract herself, look elsewhere, but no one else manages to transmit the same thing. Ordinary men talk to fill the void. You, instead, give meaning to silence. And that, my brother, is what she can't get over. The mystery of a man who didn't need to say anything to stay in her mind. A woman doesn't remember the man who talked the most. She remembers the one who made her feel the most. That's the secret few understand. Emotions are the deepest imprint you can leave on someone. And if you learn to awaken real emotions without losing yourself, you become impossible to erase. The man who doesn't seek approval but a genuine connection becomes a permanent memory in the female mind. You don't need grand gestures, promises, or drama. What marks her is the way you look at her without speaking. Your serenity when she's upset, your smile when she tries to provoke you. Women remember those moments when their pride collided with your calm, those instants when they tried to control you and you didn't budge an inch. In those moments, they felt something new, respect and desire at the same time. The unforgettable man doesn't try to impress. He doesn't chase, doesn't insist, doesn't boast. He's simply present, steady, quiet. And that energy, my brother, destabilizes. While most men act out of need, you act from abundance. You don't need her, you choose her. You're not seeking acceptance, you choose authenticity. And for a woman, that emotional impact is impossible to ignore. When she senses she can't control the game with you, something changes inside her. She starts doubting herself, analyzing every gesture, every look, every word. You didn't do anything unusual. You were just consistent. You were just you. But in a world where everyone pretends, authenticity becomes addictive, and without realizing it, you become her emotional reference point. Awakening emotions isn't manipulation. It's inspiration. It's showing her what it feels like to be in the presence of a man with purpose, control, direction. A man who doesn't collapse when things go wrong, who doesn't argue to be right, who chooses his peace over his ego. That kind of energy is rare, and that's why once she experiences it, she can't forget it. It's what makes you different. Not how much you love her, but how you made her feel when you did. Not how much you talk, but how your presence transforms the atmosphere. Men who awaken real emotions don't need to prove anything. They're the ones who, even when they leave their essence behind. And that essence, my brother, is what she'll remember every time someone new fails to make her feel the same. Most men don't understand this. Anything given too soon loses value. Women don't desire what's handed to them easily. They desire what they can't fully control. That's the secret of the unforgettable man. Not because he plays hard to get, but because his worth doesn't depend on being chosen. When a woman feels she can't dominate your emotions, something ignites in her. She may not understand it, but she feels it. Being unattainable doesn't mean being cold or distant. It means not being predictable, not being available 24/7, not reacting on impulse, not responding out of need. It means having a life bigger than any one story, a purpose stronger than any relationship. Because a man with direction, my brother, becomes magnetic. He doesn't try to fit in. He creates his own space, and women notice it, feel it, respect it. The ordinary man's mistake is wanting to be chosen too soon. He settles, adapts, opens up, but not you. You're the man who chooses his peace first, who doesn't get upset over a message, who doesn't need to be the center of anything because he's already his own center. And when a woman sees that, she feels something she can't explain: intrigue. She wonders why you don't chase her, why you don't give in, why you don't seem desperate. And that intrigue is the beginning of her deepest attraction. The appeal of the unattainable man lies in his balance. He can want without depending. He can show interest without losing control. He can open up without surrendering his power. That combination turns him into a challenge. A woman can dominate many men, but she never forgets the one she couldn't control. And that one, my brother, is you, when you learn to master yourself first. Your distance doesn't push her away, it draws her in. Your calm doesn't bore her, it unsettles her. Your silences aren't coldness. They're a mirror reflecting back her own desire, her insecurity, her fear of not being enough. When you don't react, she's left facing herself. And in that reflection, you become unforgettable. So don't fear being the man who doesn't chase anyone. In a world where everyone craves attention, you become precious because you're rare. Your energy, your control, your mystery, that's what sets you apart. The man who doesn't rush to conquer ends up conquering without trying. And that man, my brother, is the kind no woman ever truly forgets. A man's true power isn't in what he feels, it's in how he handles what he feels. Emotional control is your quietest and deadliest weapon. Most men destroy themselves by failing to master their impulses. They react to a message, argue over a provocation, get angry at silence, and in doing so, they lose their power. But not you. You learn to stay calm, even when everything pushes you to lose it. And believe me, that doesn't go unnoticed. A woman can forget the man who gets angry, who complains, who demands explanations, but she never forgets the one who stayed calm when she tried to pull him out of his center. That calm leaves a mark because it isn't indifference, it's mastery. And mastery, my brother, is what separates an average man from one who commands respect. When she sees she can't destabilize you, something shifts in her eyes. She feels admiration, even if her ego tries to hide it. The emotionally strong man isn't the one who feels nothing. He's the one who doesn't let feelings carry him away. He can love you, he can hurt, but he doesn't lose himself. He learns to pause before replying, to breathe before reacting, to walk away before begging. And every time he does, he becomes freer. Because when your emotions don't rule you, nothing and no one outside can rule you either. Emotional control isn't coldness, it's maturity. It's knowing you don't have to win every argument, prove every point, or demonstrate your worth. It's understanding that your energy is too valuable to waste on what adds nothing. It's looking at someone trying to upset you and keeping your smile. And that smile, my brother, is the one she'll remember for life. The smile of a man who didn't fall into her game. When a woman tests you emotionally, and she will, don't see it as an attack. See it as an opportunity. Every provocation is a test of your inner strength. And every time you stay calm, you level up. The man who doesn't get angry shows he no longer reacts from his wounds, but from his awareness. And deep down, that's what attracts most. The feeling of standing before someone who doesn't need to dominate to be powerful. So remember this. Your self-control doesn't make you less passionate. It makes you more valuable. In a world of impulsive men, you're the one who chooses his moment, his words, his battles. And that rarity, my brother, is what sets you apart. She may forget what you said, but she'll never forget how you stayed calm when everyone else would have lost control. Your energy speaks before your words. It speaks in your gaze, in the way you move, in your tone of voice. A woman can forget you physically, but she can't erase the energy she felt when she was with you. That sensation stays engraved. No matter how many men she meets afterward, none vibrate the same way. It's not about what you did, it's about who you were when you did it. The man who radiates calm and power without bragging leaves an imprint time can't erase. Your energy is felt when you enter a room, when you speak little, when you listen intently, when you don't try to stand out yet still do. And that, my brother, isn't faked. It's built. It's built with silence, with purpose, with consistency. When your words and actions align, you generate a different vibration, and people, especially women, notice. In a world full of noise, your quiet becomes irresistible. She can pretend to have forgotten you, but there are moments when your energy returns to her mind uninvited. When she hears a song, sees someone make your gesture, remembers a moment when you said nothing, yet said everything. That feeling stays with her even if she doesn't want it to, because energy doesn't disappear. It just shifts place, and you left a piece of yours in her emotional memory. What she'll never forget isn't what you gave her. It's how she felt beside you, feeling safe, feeling calm, feeling direction. Because when a man lives with purpose, he transmits something no woman can ignore: stability. And stability, my brother, is more attractive than any physique, any compliment, any promise. It's what makes a man addictive without effort. Your energy is your calling card. You can say nothing and still make an impact. You can walk away and still be present. Because the man who vibrates from serenity doesn't need to be physically there to be remembered. His imprint stays in the places he's been, in the people he's touched, in the minds that felt him. And once a woman has felt that energy, she'll look for it in others and never find it. So don't aim to be remembered for your words or gestures. Aim to be remembered for your energy, for the peace you left behind, for the strength you project. Because men come and go, but energies don't. And when yours transmits calm, direction, and worth, you become the kind of memory that can't be erased. She doesn't keep it in her head, she keeps it in her soul. Detachment isn't disinterest, it's power. It's the ability to love without losing yourself, to feel without depending, to give without emptying yourself. It's looking at something you want and still being able to walk on if it's not meant for you. And when you reach that point, nothing and no one can break you. The man who masters detachment doesn't dim when someone walks away. He shines brighter. His energy stops begging and starts attracting. Women can resist the insistent man, but not the free one. The free man projects something disarming, the sense that his world doesn't revolve around anyone. When she realizes he no longer needs her approval, doesn't wait for her reply, doesn't seek her attention, her mind goes into conflict. How can he be so calm without me? And that doubt turns into desire. Detachment isn't coldness, it's balance. It's not that you don't care, it's that you understand what's yours doesn't need chasing. It's the maturity to accept that if someone leaves, it was part of the lesson, not the destiny. And when you radiate that peace, people feel it. The woman who underestimated you before starts seeing you differently, not because you changed for her, but because you grew without her. While you move forward, she feels the contrast. Her ego hoped to hurt you, to make you needy, searching for answers. But you chose silence, focus, calm. And that, my brother, not only unsettles her, it draws her in. Everyone talks about love, but few embody inner power. By letting go, by flowing, by staying steady, you show her you're no longer the same. The detached man doesn't play games. He inspires. He doesn't need to promise. He demonstrates. His security doesn't come from control, but from self-trust, and that energy is impossible to resist. She may try to replace you, distract herself, look elsewhere, but something doesn't fade. The sense of freedom she felt with you because you didn't chain her, you elevated her. And that, my brother, can't be overcome. So remember, detachment doesn't distance you from love. It brings you closer to yourself. It teaches you to love from fullness, not lack. To enjoy without clinging, to lose without breaking. When you no longer need to hold anyone to feel worthy, you become the kind of man no one wants to lose. And that man, my brother, is the one no woman ever truly forgets. Even if she doesn't say it, she comes back. Not always with a message or a call, but she comes back in thoughts, in memories, in moments when her mind betrays her. There are men who mark the skin and men who mark the soul. And when you become the man who didn't let himself be dominated, who didn't beg, who kept his calm, you become the memory that doesn't fade. She can move on, date others, try to start over. But deep down, in that quiet corner of her mind, there's something she can't let go. The feeling of you, the way you looked at her without saying a word, the peace she felt when she was near, the security that radiated without promises. That peace, my brother, isn't repeated. And the day she realizes it, she'll know you weren't like the others. Her mind will trick her at first, trying to convince her it was just another story, that it's over, that it was just a phase. But the heart doesn't understand logic. The heart remembers vibrations, not arguments. It remembers how she slept peacefully knowing you were there, how her chaos quieted with your silence, how her pride surrendered to your steady gaze. And that, even if she wants to, she can't forget. What's curious is that she doesn't miss you out of need, but out of contrast. Because when she meets men who lack your energy, her mind compares. She doesn't do it on purpose. It just happens. The more she tries to deny it, the more she feels it. The soul recognizes what the ego tried to forget. You left quietly, but you left an echo. And that echo resonates every time the rest falls short. No matter if months or years pass, there will be a moment, a song, a conversation, something that brings her back to you. Not because she's looking for you, but because she remembers you. In her story, you were the turning point, the before and after. Not the one who pleased her, but the one who taught her. Not the one who held her back, but the one who set her free. That experience, my brother, stays tattooed in her emotional memory. And when it happens, when she thinks of you in silence, it won't be for what you did, but for who you were. A man can be forgotten when he's replaceable, but you weren't. You were the one who walked away without resentment, who kept going without looking back, who didn't need to be chosen to know his worth. And that's why, even if she's moved on, something will always bring her back. The memory of a man who didn't lose her because he never lost himself. Now look at yourself. Look how far you've come. You've gone from the man who sought answers to the one who no longer needs them, from the one who fought for attention to the one who learned to honor his silence, from the one who wanted to be remembered to the one who no longer needs it. Because when a man transforms through pain, he stops seeking validation and starts building respect. And that respect, my brother, is felt. You project it, you radiate it. That's what makes you unforgettable. She can forget everything, your words, your gestures, your promises. But she can't erase the calm she felt beside you, nor the void your absence left. The man who masters his inner world doesn't leave scars. He leaves lessons. You are the lesson that can't be repeated, the example she'll understand too late. When life puts someone else in front of her, she won't be able to help comparing, and in that comparison, you'll always win. You don't need revenge. You don't need to prove anything. Your victory is your serenity. Your power lies in the fact that what once destroyed you no longer affects you. And when you reach that point, my brother, life aligns with you because the universe always respects the man who respects himself. There's no greater triumph than looking back without bitterness, knowing you gave your best and still knew when to let go. Being unforgettable has nothing to do with conquering women. It has everything to do with conquering your own character, mastering your emotions, your limits, your priorities. Understanding that worth isn't in being desired, but in being worthy. The worthy man, the consistent man, the man who knows when to speak and when to stay silent, that's the one who leaves a mark. Not because he tries, but because he's authentic. You weren't the perfect man. You were the real one. And that, my brother, is what time never erases. Real men aren't in competition. They inspire. They don't react. They transform. They don't seek to be the center. They become their own universe. And when a woman has known a man like that, she can move on. But she's never quite the same again. You weren't just a story. You were the moment she learned what a real man is. Like this video, if you've ever chosen your calm over losing your worth, subscribe and turn on notifications. Because here, we don't talk about pain, we talk about growth, respect, and true masculine power. And leave a single word in the comments, unforgettable. Because that's exactly what you are, my brother. The man who doesn't seek to be remembered, yet no one manages to forget.